You thought your sound wasn't working, didn't you? No, that was just me. I'm just kidding around. But what's up, Switch Leaders? Hope you're doing well. I missed you guys last week, but I heard you guys just killed it. You crushed it. Monica German brought the heat on our message, but you guys are Switch. You are what makes Switch happen. And so it's always awesome and refreshing to know I can step away and you guys still continue to lead with the mission. And so great job with that. I was in Keller. I got to watch their switch and give some feedback. And I'm bringing some things back for our switch as well. But just want you to know how great of a switch you guys lead. You lead well in every aspect, and we're always trying to get better. But I want you to know, man, we're in a really good place. So awesome job with the way you lead a Wednesday night and outside of Wednesday with the way you're connecting with students. You're doing a great, great job for those of you that are being intentional. So thank you for that. We're here at the last 3 weeks of the semester, and we are starting a new series, 2 nights only. It's going to be a live speak, and I believe we're going to end strong. Couple things you need to know. Roots, our fifth grade ministry, they're going to be popping in as we gradually graduate them into Switch starting in Summer Switch in June. But you're going to be seeing some fifth graders around, so make them feel loved and welcome and safe whenever they're here, okay? Last thing that I really just want to drive home is we're going to be very, very intentional these last 3 weeks with partnering with parents. That's something, that's a pillar we stand on in the Next Gen Ministries is we want to connect with parents because they are the most influential people in these kids' lives. And so we want to set ourselves up for success over the summer. So here's what we're going to do. Your coaches will tell you more about this, but the next 3 weeks, we are going to connect with every student in our small group, every single one of them. Non-negotiable, it will happen. If you've got 2 or 3 leaders in your group and you want to split it up, that's fine with me. But here's the deal. The last 10 minutes, you're going to create margin in group. You're going to get every parent's contact information. You're going to get it in your phone, and we are actually in group going to text parents. First week, we're going to tell them, hey, this is Josh. I am so-and-so small group leader. I just want to reach out to you coming into summer. We won't be meeting as much, but if you need anything, if I could ever serve you guys or do anything for you, I want you to have my contact information. Please feel free to reach out. That's going to open up the door, and then the next 2 weeks, we will gradually continue to reach out to leaders or to parents so that they can feel safe with reaching out to us, especially over the summer. I've got a great story to share with you in Huddle Wednesday of how I've seen this play out over the summer. It's great. But I want to leave you with this. I want to encourage you. I was reading a parable, and it spoke to me in a very powerful way, and I hope it can do the same for you. This isn't so much about Switch. This is about you loving Christ more. But Jesus tells a parable in Luke, and he talks about how there was this guy, this king, someone of high influence, and he was throwing a great banquet, and he sent out these invitations to all these different people, and he gives 3 examples of guys that responded, and Jesus actually refers to them as excuses, although in their mind, man, they were focused, and it was something so important, but when you compare it to the way Jesus saw it, it was just something that was distracting him. The first guy responds, and he says, hey, I bought some land. I'm not going to be able to make the party because I need to go out and check on this land. My question is, what person checks land after they buy it? Second guy says, I need to go check on my oxen. I bought some oxen. Well, who test drives a car after they buy a car? No one does that. It was another thing that they needed to go do. That it wasn't crucial. And then the last one was a recently married man. He said, hey, I need to be at home with my wife, which that's a great reason. But what newlywed couple in their right mind passes up an awesome meal because early on in marriage you do not have the money for a good meal? And so as good a reasons as these were in these people's minds, Jesus was seeing it as, man, it's just not the most important thing. What were these 3 things when you really look at it? Number 1 was land. In the Bible, that shows power and accomplishment. And so, man, this man's drive for accomplishment and gain was a distraction from an invitation to be at a table and a dinner. In this case, I see it as being with Jesus. Second guy is oxen. That's your livelihood. That's how they made their money, through farming. It was, man, I'm too busy. I've got this thing that's going to make my job. It's going to drive my career. I'm too busy. And then even Jesus talks about how family shouldn't even come before following him. And as good of a reason as that was, man, it's still, in the eyes of Jesus and his standards, it wasn't the most important thing. And so I think of my life, and I think of your life, and what are the things, and just let God search your heart in this, because he's searching it in mine. And what are the things that when we first think of it, we think, gosh, I can't miss that. It's so important, and I got to drive this in my career, and I got to be at this ball game, and I got to do that. And we're so busy that we forget that the invitation to dine in the presence of our good God, we forget that that's the most important, that it's the most satisfying, and it's the most freeing thing that we can ever do. I'm not talking about your excuses of not being at Switch. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm asking, man, when is the last time you pulled up the chair at the great banquet, at the table, and you rested, and you were with Jesus in his presence, and you were being filled by him? You were enjoying his presence. And think about that. And don't let it make you feel bad. Let it draw you back, because there's an open chair at the table. There's an open invitation at the banquet. And let this just be the presence of God and his Holy Spirit saying, hey, put those things aside. They're important, but they're not the most important. And if you'll come sit at the table, those other things will probably be even more successful. And so let's just stay focused. We're in a busy season in our life. Summer's coming. It's crazy. Just remember, first of your day, come to the table, be filled, enjoy his presence, become a fully devoted follower of Christ, and everything else falls into place. I love you guys. I hope this helps you. And remember, whoever finds God finds life.